Hello everyone, this is Abdulkass from the Midas Initiative. Now this is the fourth video on how to play the piano for people in a hurry. And today we'll be discussing chords. What are chords? Well, chords are the combination of different notes to form a sound. So when you have the combination of 3 notes, for example, or more to form a sound, you're playing chords. It's like using alphabets to form words. That's how chords are. Remember that in the last video we discussed the chromatic scale, which is the do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, so, zi, la, to, ti, do. So before we discuss the chords, I need to give you the numbering system. So I need to show you what this do, di, re, mo, mi, the numbers they represent. For example, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's look at it on the key of C. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. All right. We skipped the chromatics, the D, the mo, the fi, the Z, the to. We skipped them in order to do our normal major scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if our scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, what is the chromatics? What would they be called? Look at their numbers. Your do is C, for example. So the D is your minor second because it's not yet your second. So it is the flat second. So it is called the minor second. Then the next is your mo. It is not yet the third. So it's called the flatted third, which is called minor third. So the names for the D and the mo, they are minor second and minor third. So it means that we have root, which is your number 1, minor second, then minor third, then third. All right. Then the next we have is fourth, which is also called perfect fourth, which is your fa. After fa, you now have the fi. The fi is your diminished fifth because it's that minor 5. All right, it's minor 5. It's the flat 5. So it's diminished fifth. That's the name given to it. Then we now have the fifth. Then we now have the augmented fifth, which is the sharp 5, all right, or flat 6, anyhow you want to call it. It's either you are sharpening your fifth or you are flattening your sixth. It's all the same, but the name for it is augmented fifth. Now the next that you have is the sixth, which we all know already. Then the next is the dominant seventh, all right, because it's that flat 7. It's called the dominant seventh, which is the sharp 6, all right. It's called the dominant seventh. Then followed by the regular 7, but that 7th that we have is called the major 7th. It's important to know the differences. The dominant 7th is the flat 7. The major 7th is your natural 7th. Also, your second can be called major 2nd, major 2, or your third also can be called major 3. But your fourth is perfect fourth, and your fifth is perfect fifth. All right, so we have now at least understood the numbering system, the way they are represented in terms of numbers, not in terms of solfa now. Solfa is the do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, so, zi, la, to, ti, do. In the numbering system is 1 or root, then minor second, then minor third, third, fourth, diminished fifth, fifth, augmented fifth, sixth, dominant 7th, major 7th. Now, as simple as this may sound, it is necessary that you memorize it and understand it mentally. Even without looking at the piano, you should be able to know the positions and know what they represent. Now, before we get into the chords proper, I need to also explain to you something called extension. Now, extension is the same thing with what we already have, but the extension means instead of now saying the next 2, we can say 9. For example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So this will be 8. Then that should be 9. So 9 is actually the same thing as 2 because it's just 2, but in a higher octave, isn't it? Another extension you need to know is your 11th. So look at it. If we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Then we have 10. Then we have 11. So your 11, which is the same thing as your 4th. Then another one is the 13th. And 13th is the same thing as your 6th because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is your la. Then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now it is important to understand these extensions because tomorrow you will see chords that have these extensions like minor 13, or flat 13 or sharp 9. All of those things are just the same thing as saying if you hear sharp 9, it's the same thing as saying sharp your 2. The only thing is that 9 is not 2 because 9 is the 2 that is in the higher octave, something like that. So understand the context and watch the video again to grasp the concept, because it is going to help when you start to play different chords and when you deal with other musicians. So now let's get to the chords. Now, chords are a very simple combination of 3 or more notes to form a sound. We have different types of chords. One of the most important one is the major chord. I didn't say major scale. The major scale is your do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But major chord is combination. And the combination that forms a major chord is 1, 3, and 5. Do, mi, so. So anytime you press do, mi, so, you're playing a major chord. So let's demonstrate. A major will be do. Remember, it's supposed to be do, mi, so. So do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, so. Let's try E flat major. Do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, so, do, mi, so. That is E flat major. Let's try D major. Do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, so. So if you can just find your 1, 3, 5, you have found your major chord. The next chord I want to show you is the minor chord. Now the minor chord is your root, which is your number 1. Minor third, which is your mo, not mi. Then your 5th, so do, mo. So let's try it on the key of C. Root, minor third, and 5th. That's your C minor. Let's try it on the key of A flat. A flat minor. A flat, do, then minor third, and then 5th. Do, mo, so of A flat. That is it about the minor chord. It's just, if you get your major chord, do, mi, so, and you flat your third, that's a minor chord. The next chord I want to show you is the diminished chord. And the diminished chord is made up of the root, which is 1, minor third, which is your mo, and then diminished 5th. So do, mo, fi, that is your diminished chord. So, and why I gave you these 3 chords is because I want to show you the chords that you need to play when you are playing your major scale. Remember that your major scale can be played as notes, and they can also be played as chords. So instead of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do as single notes, you can play it as chords. So do will be a chord, re will be a chord, mi will be a chord. Now, what are the chords that you need to use when you're playing the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do? For the do chord, let's use the key of D. Do, you play major. So anytime you want to play the do, you play a major chord. Re, you play a minor chord. Re is a minor chord. Mi, you play a minor chord. Fa, you play major chord. So, major chord. La, minor chord. Ti, diminished chord. And the last do, which is the same thing as major chord. So what we have is do is major, fa is major, and so is major. Re, mi, and la are minor. Then your T is diminished. So these are the chords that you need to know, and you can play it on any key. For example, if we play on the key of E flat, this will be do, re minor, mi minor, which is G minor, fa, which is A flat major, so, which is B flat major, la, which is C minor, T, which is D diminished, and then back to do, which is E flat major. So that is the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, but this time around as chords, not as singular notes. Practice them in different keys and make sure that you master them and understand the concept.
Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.